Today, I'm going to be giving you 10 insanely good movement tips in Valorant. You need to get better with your movement. It's a massive area game that you're lacking in, and this is going to help you out with it. With the help of MrCipe, who is a top Immortal player, he is going to teach me 10 tips that are going to help you out with Valorant for your movement. And be sure to drop a like on the video if it does help you out, and subscribe for more tips and tricks videos like this. And I do stream on Twitch, there's a link down below in the description if you want to see some of the most entertaining Valorant streams you've ever watched. Let's get on into it.
One of my teammates gets a kill, right? What does that usually do? That makes the enemy want to look at their minimap to see where that was, or maybe have their teammate call out, so they get distracted by that kill because they want to know where it is, they want to know where it's coming from, right?
Yeah.
So what that does is they get distracted, and in that moment, it's a split second, literally. It's a split second, so you have to react super quick. That's what makes this skill really hard.
That's actually genius.
So if your teammate gets a kill, and let's say you have perfect timing, there's someone walking right here, right? Right here.
Yeah.
And someone on your team gets the kill, he's gonna look at his minimap, and that's a perfect time to peek, and then you get the kill. But the first thing we're gonna be doing is just like a cool tip on how to silent B-hop. The way to do it is basically when you're going up a slanted slope, let's say like stairs or something like that.
Yeah.
If you hold shift while jumping, it'll completely work. Like, you'll be completely silent as long as you're still B-hopping. And also it's faster too. So anything that's slanted, right? Like this slope right here, and even this slope right here, anything that's going up, you can do it silent. And also, like, sewers is very loud. Like, once you hear the water, you know someone's there, right?
Instantly.
So like doing this in sewers is really helpful. All you have to do is just run up while like just running. You could just run, and then you just hold shift. But yeah, it takes a lot of practice to get used to it, because it's actually kind of hard though.
You have to be shifting and then sometimes let go. Like
so since you have the shift button, like, holding down, if you mess it up just by like a slight second, it's gonna stop you a little bit. So it's gonna be like this kind of, you kind of like mess it up, and then you'll go like walking speed. But then if you have the momentum and you time the jumps right, which is basically B-hopping, right?
Yeah.
You would have the momentum going, and you'll be faster while being silent. When you're bunny hopping,
yeah, I'm kind of getting the hang of it.
Yeah. So like you'll know when you lose momentum, and then by that time you could just like slow walk, because it's the same speed either way. So let's go to A site real quick. A thing I like to do, you don't have to do it all the time, but it's the same thing with being silent while jumping, right? When you're crouched and you jump, it doesn't sound either, right? So anytime you're gonna jump and you're gonna make sound is when you don't hold control or your crouch or walk button, which is, that's why it makes sound when you jump, right? But when you hold shift and you jump, or hold your crouch or button, when you jump, it doesn't make sound until you land. So let's say you don't want to make sound, but you still want a jump spot. All you have to do is just crouch, jump, and then stand up midair, and you don't make sound at all. So from this perspective, I can hear you jumping, right? So the whole point of this tip is basically to not make it seem that you're jumping all the time. So basically what you would be doing, you still wouldn't want a jump spot, so all you have to do is hold crouch at the beginning of the jump. Once you jump and you're in the mid-air, that's when you let go of your crouch, or you stand up again mid-air, and then it's not going to make a single noise. Perfect. That's how you do it. So that makes no noise at all, but you want to have the jump when you're holding control still, or when you're holding your crouch button. So that's how you make no noise while jumping. All right, so let's go to long right here. Let's say you want to jump peek to just spot long, right? You want to grab some info, probably hear them coming up, like you hear 2 or 3. And you want to, I see a lot of people do this like everywhere. They just jump peek and they go back, right? Just like a little jump peek. So what they do is just this,
Right.
And so a lot of people, sometimes they mess it up, or they get stuck, and then they're like this, kind of like this, and then they're exposed. They could easily die. When you jump, you're holding W or D, which is, you're going right? When you're mid-air, all you want to do is just kind of like rotate it. So instead of, you're holding W and D in the air because you're going right?
Yeah.
But once you want to go back in, I think you hold A and S, so back and left, to go back in, and that's what cuts off your momentum mid-air.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like you kind of want to do it like around. You know what I'm saying? Like a little circle. You know?
Yeah. Right. 360 motion. Oh, was that
That's
it?
perfect. Yeah. That was it.
You can really feel the momentum. Like it changes. Yeah.
It changes direction. Yeah. Because you know they're gonna do it, right? So like, let's say like. I saw you, and it's really hard to hit me. You being patient and waiting for them is how you play the game. So let's say I've seen a bunch of pro players do this on streams. I've seen many good players do this, but anytime they always want the other person to peek and not yourself. Unless you're entering or doing whatever. But if you really want to be smart about your gunplay and what you're doing, your moves and everything, you want to be holding the person instead, because that's just the way the game should be played, you know?
Yeah, because you're having an advantage standing still, crosshair placement, waiting for them to peek the corner.
Yes, exactly. So the crosshair placement, you holding them around that corner is so much better than you like swinging onto them, because you know they're just gonna fall into your crosshair and you have an easy kill. All you have to do there is just, you know, rely on your reaction time. Your reaction time is what you need to do, and usually what you want to do when you're holding a corner is don't hold it directly on the corner. You want to have your crosshair a little bit in front, because you know they're gonna full on swing. And depending on the previous rounds or just if you know how that player plays, you'll know if they'll swing short or swing wide. When you're holding W while swinging someone, it is very bad actually, and I'll explain why. The reason being is because when you're holding A or D, which means just going left or right when you're picking someone, usually someone refers that to like as a Ferrari peak. I don't know if you ever heard that term.
Never heard of that. Is there a Lamborghini peak too?
So yeah, what that means basically is that like they're moving so fast that you just can't react, and then they counter strafe you and you're dead already. So when you're holding W, it makes you a lot slower. Let's say like I'm holding A and W right here. You can easily track me, you can easily react to that because I'm moving at a slower rate. But now I'm gonna be holding A.
Okay. It's a lot quicker.
It's a lot faster, and then I get to see you first because, you know, it's either because peeing or whatever. But usually always holding A or D to fully swing someone is always better than holding W, because they can either mess up their crosshair placement, you know, back to the thing where you're holding an angle and waiting for them to run into your crosshair. They could calculate that wrong and maybe have their crosshair a little bit too like close to the edge right here.
Yeah.
And then you would full on swing, and then they would shoot like right here.
Yeah.
And then I would be able to kill you first. Crouching helps out sometimes too, because let's say you're fighting someone, right? You're fighting someone from a long distance, medium distance, whatever distance is fine, right? You're counter strafing, you're doing everything, right? But they're also doing the same thing. They're trying to kill you too. And where's their crosshair going to be? They're going to try to hit your head as much as possible. And then sometimes people just go for the body, but that's okay. But what you want to do is like sometimes you want to duck under the crosshair.
I've done that before.
All situational, depending on the context of what situation you're in or whatever. You can duck under their crosshair if you're confident enough that you're gonna kill them for sure, like or whatever.
Yeah,
so
similar. So it's like drop shot in COD, but a little less toned down.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's the same thing as like in any game that really has crouching or prone. You want to have the advantage by ducking under their crosshair, especially because they're gonna have to fix their crosshair placement, you know?
Yeah, technique to be used in the right context.
Okay, so yeah, this is another mental one. Definitely when you're either defending or attacking, you always want to be aware of your teammates, right? You always want to be aware of what's going on, what's the situation. So always have your minimap up, or I mean, like always be looking at your minimap when you're in a safe place or when you're moving somewhere and you know that you're in the clear, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at your minimap while holding an angle, I know this has happened to me many times.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm holding an angle and I check my minimap just to see what my teammates are doing or just what's going on. And then at that moment, I die because someone swung me, right? So like, it's something that you could do to fix that is just go into cover. Go into cover, check your minimap for like 1 second, 2 seconds, and then come back out, hold that same angle. And then that maybe even be good because your timing could be amazing for some reason. It's happened to me also. Like I go to check my minimap and then I go out to pick someone there, and they don't know I'm there, and then it's a free kill for me, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely just, you have to be smart about it, you know? 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't take your eyes off the screen. Okay, so same with this. Crouching is totally situational and depending on what situation you're in, how much people you're going against, you know, just whatever the situation you're in, basically.
Right.
Okay, so the first thing that I have here is when you're fighting against 2+ enemies, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, you know, there's someone here and then there's someone over here. They're not peeking you at the same time because, you know, maybe they're not communicating, and you want to try to play this as smart as you can. You're waiting for the first person to peek out. You don't want to crouch, because if you crouch and let's say you do get the first guy, this guy's gonna swing out and you can't move as much, so you're a sitting duck.
Yeah.
Right? You're literally going to be dead because of the second guy.
Yeah.
Let's say if you were standing and not crouching, you kill the first guy, you move because you counter strafe or whatever, he's gonna have your crosshair placement already from where you were standing. So if you move and didn't crouch, you will be able to have a chance to actually kill him.
Yeah,
because
crouching is so slow.
Exactly, because if you're crouched, you're hard to move and it's an easy target for him. If
Right.
you're standing up, you can move out of the way from his crosshair and then you can probably get a tap on him. Okay, so when you're holding an angle, let's say sometimes, okay, so this is definitely situational as well, right? Let's say, come here, sit right here.
Yeah.
And then I'll be holding this angle, right? You know that someone's coming, you hear their footsteps or whatever, and then you swing out, right?
Yeah.
Right here, I could get the easy tap on you, you're dead, right?
Yeah.
And then, but let's say I miss, right? And then you get surprised, and then, you know, something goes wrong. If you're standing, you can easily get out of the way.
Yeah.
Right? If you're crouched, he sees you, he could either flick to you, react to you real quick, and then you're dead and you can't really move out of the way. And then obviously when you get shot at,
you even slow down even further. Yeah.
You get slowed down. So that is really bad. But at the same time, also, is if they know you're there, let's say you know I'm holding this angle, right? Crouching is actually very good, actually, because
Right. Okay.
they're gonna have their crosshair placement at your head. They're gonna be thinking you're holding it at your head level, right?
Thank you for watching. Be sure to drop a like on the video if you did enjoy, and subscribe for more tips and tricks videos like this. Remember that we do have a Discord if you're looking to find teammates. There's a link down below, and I do stream on Twitch. There's a link down below to that too if you want to catch me when I am live. Be sure to click on the video on your screen right now because it's going to be showing you 100 of the best tips in Valorant.